Okay, Kahdei, I'll do intro to one, and then you can
Yeah,
do the
alright.
intro to the other one.
Okay, you first.
Right, you're
I'm
set.
gonna stuff this up so bad.
No, just if you stuff it up, just pause, and then we'll just edit it.
Okay.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Hello guys, welcome back to another Team Juno video. I'm joined with Tamura and Boogiezone, and today we're going to be VOD reviewing some of Boogiezone's challenger games in OCE, and pinpointing some of his mistakes and maximizing his placements with tips.
Yeah, that's fine. That's very fine.
Perfect.
So here I'm just thinking Penta. So I don't know whether it was too early to commit, but I don't think I could have played much else. I mean, this patch I've just been leaning towards Penta, Heartsteel, or Reroll if I get the good spot.
I think because you're level 3 and like you're not necessarily going to win rounds, you don't have to like fully slam the items.
Right. So if it's not going to make a...
Still, yeah, like even if you like most likely, if anything, it will save you like 1 unit's worth, but like that locks you into playing a specific comp when like your items are suited to play more than just Pentakill. And like with these slams, you're mostly like guaranteed playing Pentakill.
Right, okay. So like leaving it more option, like open if it's not going to change that much.
If you're not on a win streak, you just don't need a slam.
There's a lot of 2-cost reroll options that are available that are only they have to be given to you, right? So for example, if you greed here and you don't slam anything, you go to you natural level 4 here on 2-3. Let's say you get like a Seraphine chosen or a Senna chosen, then your spot's like really good to play it because you have so many components to work with.
Yeah.
But if you hit like for example Seraphine chosen on this turn, like it's not even a high roll because it's it's
it
good
feels
obviously.
Shit to make.
Yeah, but it's just kind of like now you're just like a little bit weaker. You probably like win this round regardless, right? Like you win the rounds you win regardless.
Yeah,
and you just,
exactly.
Like, maybe kill 1 extra unit against the other ones.
And like a rule of thumb for me is if I don't have a chosen, I'm not down to slam items because someone's just going to be stronger than you.
I thought you purposefully weren't like putting items on Lilia because like you might not want to mono later.
Oh right.
Yeah. I don't mind the Morello slam. I don't know if Kahdei's got a different opinion, but like personally when I play Pentakill, I don't want that many rods, so I just like if I have a rod. Yeah.
I think at this point, because you've already slammed everything, I think Morello is fine to me because you're guaranteed basically playing this because these items don't really fit in any other comp.
That's good. So early slams, and it's not going to change much. Like you don't need to do anything, especially if you don't have a headliner.
Yeah, like here you'd probably be the same HP without slamming anything, and then you'd be like more flexible to play something else. Like because your starting components were like really good to play Seraphine, for example.
It's also really important, like just from like a technical perspective, but also like a nerve perspective when you go into tournaments, like not slamming on stage 2 just because you're like, oh, I'm like if you lose the first 2 rounds, a lot of the times in tournaments, like people who aren't that experienced in playing in like high stakes tournaments, they'll just start to panic and start slamming things and like lock themselves out of different lines. But like it's perfectly fine to drop a little bit of HP in stage 2.
Especially in stage 2, right? Because like that's when you lose the least HP.
Yeah.
So you can just set up your gold or set up your units, set up your items.
Oh, damn, I've always been like so tunneled on slamming in 20s. I'm like, oh, the tempo's higher.
Yeah. But okay, that's the fakest news. Like when people say like, oh, tempo's higher in tournaments, so just like play more safe. Like it's just fake news. Like play how you'd normally play, make the right decisions. Because like those plays where people say like make the tempo play is usually just the wrong decision overall.
So what about this? So I wasn't streaking or anything, but
yeah, this was good.
You had like it was punk roll, right?
Yeah.
I always do this when I have like Jigsaw chosen.
Yeah, there we go. It's the Morello. I like the Harm Assist as well because you're like not necessarily gonna get like Hodge BT anytime soon. So it's like.
Oh yeah, sorry. Can we go back to the augments? I wasn't really paying attention. I mean, these are all pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have rolled right first. I mean, left and right. I don't know if I rolled middle here. I guess it's not too bad since I already have one.
I mean, it worked out right because once you saw Gist, then you're like, okay, like
you got a safety.
Yeah.
I think this is better than gifts.
LDP is such a gamble when you don't even know the KDA hex. Plus, like it can like really screw you.
Oh, that's true. That's one thing I don't do as well. I don't check my KDA.
I think though here you should just adaptive the center and like triple item center. And also another like bait like not it's not really a bait, but another thing I see a lot of people do is like try to greed like silver bulk or silver like cybers, and like obviously it's good if you can, but don't like try to greed for it. You know what I
Right,
mean?
I see. So don't like tunnel on spreading.
Yeah,
if it's
don't try
yeah.
tunnel, especially on units like Tamura was saying earlier, the Lilia. It's nice to like just leave her not bulked, unless like
Yeah.
she's like your only upgrade or whatever. Like it's like your strongest. I think most of the time, just these key units that you can't afford to sell, don't put like components on them that you need later.
Also, I think another argument, like to back up Kahdei's helm idea on Senna, is that you had open tier, right? So you're never going for a third Karthus item, if that makes sense. And because you're
Yeah.
never going for a third Karthus item, you're never going for a third Senna item. So this Senna's going to go on 4-2.
With two items the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay, right.
Because this
Like if
tier
you had
most
opened
likely wants
something
to
else,
be...
maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Like if you had open rod, I guess, most
Yeah.
likely it's going on Karthus. But this tier, you want it to be like a Hodge or something for Viego. Like it
I think
really
this should be a level, no? Like, I before you had Seraphine, because she was your next in, did you sell her for Econ or anything important? Because I feel like you could have leveled here, you would have still made 30. Like, that was very scary.
So
Yeah,
you dropped to 30? Like you'd be
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
30
yeah.
is good if you're streaking. It's always
Okay,
fine.
right.
Yeah. I think 20 is when it's sus, but 30 is like usually good enough.
Yeah, because I always feel like I never have enough econ, so I think I've kind of been tunneling on.
Yeah, but you lose more money
Yeah,
if you break
yeah.
the streak there.
And also,
Especially because it's a 6.
even if you didn't level, the Seraphine is just stronger than Cassante. Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
I don't know. Would you ever? I mean, it's fine, right?
No. I would
like
take it. I
Yeah.
really like it in this comp.
Like you'd still roll here? I think this was my main question. Like with this little gold.
Like you can still make a board even without a super fan here. Like you have all of the units you need. It's weaker because you don't have a super fan, but it's still possible to make. Like I'll be honest, I don't know how much this Caitlyn's doing with one item. Like you could have just not bought Caitlyn here, been 10 gold richer, and then rolled next turn. Because you can still make pretty
On
much complete the
4-3.
board. Yeah, like I don't know if this Caitlyn's doing anything because you just play the Karthus. Because you do you Morello the Caitlyn here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like your idea behind the Caitlyn, but especially in this patch, like she just does nothing, and like Karthus one probably just does more.
Yeah. So like, oh okay. So would you in this scenario on 4-2 have gridded, like, instead of just stuck it out and then gone 4-3 or 4-5?
I think instead of rolling to 0, you could have just played Karthus because like you have some HP to play with.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was kind of bad. Like there was no really like you didn't see a single chosen. I feel like that you could sit on. It's like usually like you can hit something decent, right? Like a Zed or an Ari or like anything. But I think buying this Caitlyn like kind of griefed your gold as well. Like what Tamara was saying, like you could have just had like 20 gold here and rolled a bit more, and maybe hit something like Poppy 2 plus any chosen.
But do you think it was still correct to do a roll down then, like sell my chosen?
I think that wait, hold on. I think that's a big panic play.
Yeah, this Skinsu is very.
That's a huge.
That's
a huge panic. I don't know who you're playing.
I think it's fine to roll. It was fine to roll down.
But yeah, like I think if you just play the Karthus standard Pentakill board here, maybe like instead of being 60 HP at worst, you'd be like maybe 50 like 3, but probably more like 55 HP. And then you roll back down here with 20 gold and you can make an actual board. And yeah, like we talked about how you don't want to panic on stage 2 by making like items where you don't need to lock yourself into anything. And I think this is like another example of it. Like you don't need to make the Rage Blade does like next to nothing here in your spot because you know you want to get rid of it, right? Like you have a Morello, Shojin, like Caitlyn here. You want to get rid of this, so yeah.
Right. So you mean keep the Karthus? Would you just like play it with the center, or would you just leave the headline open?
It's fine. It's fine to sell the center. That wasn't like
wasn't
the problem. But it's like after you hit nothing and you were like 10 gold, just play the Karthus.
Okay, right.
Like just play no chosen, like no headline.
Okay.
Because what you did with the Caitlyn basically means that your spot right now on stage 4-5 is exactly the same as it was on 4-1 or 4-2, sorry.
Yeah.
So like your spot hasn't changed, but everyone else has gotten stronger.
Yeah, and then you're just gonna sell it and roll down again, like basically putting yourself back to 4-2. Well, everyone's like planning to go up or upgrade what they already have.
Yeah.
Also, if you were like 10 gold, the Amumu chosen was probably the only one that was like even remotely clickable, but you had enough gold that I probably wouldn't have taken it at the
Yeah,
time.
I wouldn't have taken it.
I'll just add all of this out, by the way.
No, I'm pretty sure I bought 4 from this spot anyway. Oh yeah, because I never find Karthus.
Oh,
The
yeah?
entire game, I'm stuck on Kale.
Oh yeah, this is a good game to post. Tamura77 below me.
Bot 4s.
Also, like one thing to keep in mind, the whole lobby ended up trying to play Karthus and like Pentakill, and like if you hadn't slammed these items earlier, you could have been able to like, maybe do something else.
Yeah, like my spot would have been a lot better.
Did you hit true damage center on when you 3-2'd it?
I think
It was rapid
fire.
fire.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But yeah, I see what you mean with like doing panic slam, because I could have had a
Yep.
true damage center spot if I,
Yeah.
Yep.
And like you wouldn't have won a round. Like you could have just like opened, played like a 2-cost reroll, or if not, like you could have like
Yeah.
gotten a strong board at 3-2 and then trying to hard force basically.
I got bailed.
I honestly like you did 2 roll downs, so like I feel like you're expected to hit this board by now.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's probably the main problem of this game, and I just kind of bleed into a third or something.
Yeah, because like you can never like go 9.
Yeah.
Or, like even if you do, it's like too late.
Yeah, I don't think the Caitlyn like play was like egregious.
It wasn't
by the way.
terrible. Like I
yeah,
understand
like-
why you did it, and I think like it's
Yeah.
fine most of the time. But I think because Caitlyn, especially in that patch, was so bad, and also like your items for her were kind of garbage.
Yeah.
I think that like if it was anything else decent, like it's probably the correct play. But because Karthus one is probably just stronger on the board you had,
Yeah.
even without Superfan, I think that's why. And also, just like a mental note when you're playing this comp, I realized you didn't pick up like Aries and stuff, which is definitely like playable if you like on
Oh,
your
really?
roll down. Yeah, just try to like pick up Aries and stuff because you can just this board's very easy to pivot into like KDA if you hit
Oh,
those
true.
units more than Pentakill units. And like you can honestly just put random stuff on Ari because
Fine.
there's a chance like the chosen you would have hit is like chosen Akali KDA, right? And if you had
Yeah.
like the Aries you held from earlier, you can just pivot to like 7 KDA. And like even though they have mid items, it's still like better than the chance that you just didn't even hit Viego chosen. I think Ari is like the most flexible unit you should be holding when you're rolling down. Because yeah, all you have to do is it's like exactly like this board, except instead of Maud you play Echo, and then you play Ari plus Seraphine, which is 5 KDA 3 Sword Weaver. And then your chosen can just be like Zed or Viego still or like anything.
Oh, right, like the Ari Warriors.
Yeah, it's basically Ari Warriors.
So a lot of this board is cheesing kills with Viego. Because I saw you shuffle your entire board there, but I don't think you looked at your opponents like once before you did it. But if you like, because the most important thing is you just get the general structure right, where you have like your Nico and your Mordekaiser tanking, but like last second you want to swap your Viego, so you're actually like getting value out of him.
Yeah.
Especially if you have fully itemized Karthus, you can definitely like cheese one shots. I would
Center
never.
Viego.
I don't think I've ever put Viego on the far right. I like he can be one off from the far right if they have a comp in the corner.
And do you always want like someone like kind of protecting him?
Yeah, exactly. I usually just put my Nico in the far like in the corner, Nico in the
Yeah.
corner, Akali in one of the other corners. Because I mean, this spot's a bit different because you don't have any items for Akali, so she's not doing anything. But like usually your Akali has at least one item and she's in the corner, so she'll just jump forward anyway. So like
Right.
she'll take first aggro, bait out the aggro, and then your second row person can just walk up.
I honestly don't think you played this game that bad. It was actually
Mm.
pretty good, honestly. If the Caitlyn was something else, it would have looked like you kind of smurfed.
Like the Caitlyn's and Ari there.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
exactly,
get KDA. You get KDA for free. You can Helm the Ari. Now you have Helm Rabadon's Morello Ari or something. Like it's actually
Yeah.
sick.
like really strong enough to get you to 4 thing. And then that's the thing, like you can always still sell that Ari. Like you don't have to be stuck in that board. The main takeaways was try and not slam if you're not streaking. I think that was the biggest issue of that game because you kind of locked yourself into playing that comp when it was like 3-way contested.
Yep. Especially like the items that you made as well, like the Titans on Evelyn. Like unless it's like a chosen Evelyn with like 3 items, then I don't think Titans is doing that much.
Yeah,
Maybe like 1 extra kill at one point, but
If you did have a
Yeah.
chosen, would you have made those kind of items?
like if you had a
Or-
chosen Evelyn with
Yeah.
Superfan in and you got a free
Yeah,
Hodge,
Superfan
and you
plus
had like
KDA, like
Oh,
something.
okay,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like an actual streakable board.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Or like something that you know is gonna for sure save you HP.
because if you're saving HP like that, like let's say you slam like Titans Hodge and you have like a 3-item Evelyn and you have like KDA and all that, you know you're gonna be rich enough to just like to be able to 4-2 it every game with money. Because if you can guarantee a strong, it doesn't have to be a 5 streak, but like let's say
Yeah,
you
it
win
does,
4 out
yeah.
of 5 rounds in stage 2 and then
Mhm.
you can 3-2 it, you're up like 4 gold just from like winning 4 rounds, and then you're probably gonna be strong enough to just like get to 4-2 without any worries. But if you don't ever hit a good chosen in the game you played, let's say you just like miss, then you might just be locked into like having to 3-2 it, and then now you have to 3-2 it with items that aren't meant for 3-2 champions. They're meant for 4-2 champions.
Yeah.
And
that makes a
even
lot
at
of sense.
4-2, like there's items that are like just can't go on anyone but one unit, right? It's like for example, blue buff is really good at late game. But like
Yeah.
you're never slamming it early game because like you can only use it on like Ezreal or Ari, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
There's the same kind of deal with Titans. Like it's basically only going on Viego. So unless you're sure that like you can make use out of it in the early game, it's not worth to make it. But I think you did well. Like
Oh, nice.
boring. Yeah.
True.
Okay.
Unjustified because I beat your board twice, but whatever.
Yeah, just gotta put it out there, hey.
We're getting scammed yet again.